Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. I want you to think about your morning commute today, or, just the room you're sitting in right now, or even the screen you're staring at this very second. You probably walk around every single day completely convinced that what you see, hear, and remember is the absolute unvarnished truth of the physical world, right? I mean, it feels solid, it feels real. But what if your everyday reality is actually this elaborate, highly constructed illusion? Today, we're uncovering the master illusionist running the show right behind your eyes, and we're looking at how it fundamentally challenges the way you experience the universe.
So what if your brain is literally lying to you every single day? It's a slightly unsettling thought, isn't it? We rely so heavily on our minds to navigate the world, to keep us safe, and to tell us what's objectively real. But the data shows a completely different story. Your brain isn't just passively recording the world like some documentary camera on a tripod. No, it's an active director, and it's constructing your reality on the fly. And to do that in real time, well, it has to cut corners, edit the footage, and occasionally just flat out deceive you. Because the sheer volume of information hitting your senses every second is absolutely staggering. And to manage it all without completely overwhelming you, your mind plays some incredible tricks.
All right, Section 1, the daily brain deception, hiding your blind spots. The deception actually starts right inside our own eyes.
Okay, let's dive into this. It is a biological fact that inside each of your eyes, there's a literal physical blind spot. It's the exact area where your optic nerve connects to your retina, which means there are absolutely no light-detecting photoreceptor cells there. And it's not small either. It's a pretty significant gap in your visual field. So technically, you should be seeing this dark, empty patch hovering in your vision at all times. But you don't. And that's because your brain secretly fills in the missing picture. It acts like this advanced photo editing software, essentially guessing what should be in that empty space based on the surrounding area, and it seamlessly patches the visual data before you ever consciously process it. So why does this matter? Because it reveals that your brain values a complete narrative over an accurate one. It would literally rather invent reality than let you experience an incomplete picture.
Moving on to Section 2, Editing Time and Space, the Reality Lag. Let's see how this editing extends from physical space into the dimension of time. Think about an event happening out in the world at exactly 0 milliseconds. Maybe a glass shatters on the floor, a dog barks in the distance, or a light flashes. You do not perceive it right then. Following that event, there is a tiny, unavoidable delay. Your brain has to take in that sensory information, route it through your complex nervous system, and decode it. And finally, after that lag, you actually experience the event. This means you do not actually live in the present. You're always living just slightly in the past, basically trapped in a perpetual state of playback.
And this brilliantly illustrates the massive difference between actual reality, which happens instantly and is just raw, chaotic data, and your edited reality, which is processed, delayed, and smoothed out. Look, living with a noticeable choppy delay would be incredibly disorienting. So your brain takes that processed information and artificially smooths it out to make everything feel instant. Think about a professional baseball player hitting a 100-mile-per-hour fastball. By the time their brain registers the ball leaving the pitcher's hand, that ball is already halfway to the plate. They're technically swinging it where the ball was, not where it is, predicting its path based on delayed data. Your brain stitches all these sensory inputs together into a beautifully synchronized broadcast that's actually running on a tape delay just to give you the illusion of the present moment.
Which brings us to Section 3, Rewriting Your Own Past, the Mutable Mind. Let's shift our focus from physical space to internal space.
So your brain edits the present moment, but what about the past? Well, this is where things get truly fascinating. We tend to think of our memories as a library of old videotapes, right? We think that when we want to remember a significant life event, we just pull the tape off the shelf, hit play, and watch a perfect, unchangeable recording of the past. But the shocking truth is that memories are not stored like videos at all. They're incredibly fragile, they're entirely reconstructed, and they are remarkably mutable. It's actually deeply unsettling to realize that some of our foundational identities and cherished personal histories are built on such shifting sands.
Imagine a childhood birthday party. You remember the cake, the specific color of the balloons, who was there. That's the original event, step 1. Years later, you bring up that memory at a family dinner, which is step 2, the first recall. But here's the trick. Simply by accessing that memory, you make it neurologically vulnerable. You bring it into a highly malleable state. During that dinner conversation, you might accidentally add a detail from a story your mom told, or maybe your mind tweaks the color of the balloons to match a photograph you saw recently. Then comes step 3. Your brain doesn't just put the original memory back on the shelf. It saves the newly altered memory over the old one. It essentially destroys the original file. Every single time you recall a memory, your brain slightly changes it before hitting save. This explains so much about human behavior, from why eyewitness testimony can be notoriously unreliable in courtrooms, to why two spouses can remember the exact same argument completely differently. You aren't remembering the event, you're just remembering the last time you remembered it.
Section 4. The ultimate sensory filter. Ignoring the noise. Our brains are constantly manipulating our attention by aggressively muting the outside world.
Because right now, your brain is filtering out so much. Think about what you aren't feeling. You're ignoring the low hum of the refrigerator in the next room, the physical feeling of the socks on your feet, the weight of your shirt on your shoulders, the pressure of the chair you're sitting in. You're completely ignoring the constant blinking of your own eyes, the rhythm of your own breathing, and everything currently sitting in your peripheral vision. There are literally thousands of other sounds, sights, tactile sensations, and smells bombarding your nervous system every single second. It is a massive, paralyzing sensory overload. But your brain aggressively filters all of this out so you can focus on this explainer. You are missing almost everything that is happening around you in reality, leaving you in a state of sudden, complete quiet.
And finally, Section 5, the 20-watt supercomputer, the grand reveal. We've seen that the brain creates blind spots, delays reality, rewrites our memories, and aggressively mutes the world. But why? Why go through all of this elaborate deception? Well, it all comes down to a simple biological limitation. 20. So the crucial point is, your brain, the most complex structure in the known universe, uses only about 20 watts of power to operate.
To put that into perspective, a standard 20-watt light bulb produces barely enough energy to dimly illuminate a small closet. Yet running on that exact same minimal wattage, your brain is performing trillions of complex calculations every single second. It's keeping your heart beating, regulating your body temperature, processing your environment, forming conscious thoughts, and generating your entire sense of self. The grand reveal here is that your brain isn't lying to you out of malice. It's not a glitch in the system. It is an extreme, highly efficient, energy-saving survival hack. If our brains attempted to run at full, unedited processing power, taking in raw data in real time with perfect memory storage, we would likely starve trying to consume enough calories just to power our minds. It simply doesn't have the energy to show you reality in perfect, unedited high definition, so it creates a functional, low-energy illusion that keeps you alive.
Which brings us to our final thought today. We've explored the blind spots, the reality lag, the changing memories, the sensory filters, and the 20-watt power limit that necessitates it all. If your own mind is capable of seamlessly hiding all of this from you simply to save energy, what else do you think it's hiding right now? Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep questioning your reality.